so here we have a bank reconciliation problem, and what we're trying to do here is we're trying to reconcile what the bank says we have versus what we say we have in our books. So that's always the first step. We need to figure out what is our book balance and what is our bank balance. Well, number one here says cash balance per Eli Dance Company's account with First Bank of Baltimore is $8,089. So we'll go ahead and plug that in as our bank balance. And then our book balance, it says cash balance per Eli's Dance Company records $9,500. So you can already see there is a difference of about $1,500. So we need to reconcile that out. Also, once we start with our balance per books, there's some things we need to add and some things we need to subtract to get to our adjusted book balance. And the same thing for the bank balance. I typically start on the bank balance side. I don't know why, just old habits. So I will go ahead and start on the bank balance side here. So we always add to our cash balance per bank any deposits in transit. So I'm going to type in here deposits in transit. Oh, okay. Outstanding deposit. I see it there. I should have just clicked on it. Outstanding deposit is $2,550. Once we add our outstanding deposit, then we always subtract any outstanding checks. So I will go ahead and type that in here. So we've got our two outstanding items. Now our outstanding checks, it says here number 8, the following checks issued by Eli Dance Company were not yet cashed. Those are checks that we have sent out to other people, but they have not yet cleared the bank. So they haven't necessarily put them in. So I need to add those two together. I don't know why that doesn't want to pop in there, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and type it in. And so I need to add the $299 plus the $523 for a total of $822. All right, let's come over to the book balance side. And as far as the book balance side goes, we always add any collections of any notes that we have. And I should have went down these one by one, but I like to, again, do it versus what we add than what we subtract. So to my book balance, I know I need to add collections from a note, and that's exactly what number 5 says here. First Bank of Baltimore collected on a promissory note for Eli Dance in the amount of $450 plus $55 in interest. So we call that a collection on a note. Okay. And that is going to be in the amount of $450 plus $55, which is $505. Next, we have to subtract out any service charges that we may have incurred. Just not cooperating today. Okay. So what service charges did we encounter here? Looks like service charges levied by First Bank of Baltimore is $50. So I'll enter that as a negative because I am subtracting that. And I also need to enter the outstanding checks over there as a negative as well. Okay, so I feel like we have the basic things. Let's see, what did we miss when we went through this process? And it looks like we missed this error that said Eli's Dance Company's bookkeeper inadvertently recorded a check from a customer, Daniel Johnson, for $240. The amount of the check was $130. So with these errors, you have to analyze them specifically. So the bookkeeper, this has nothing to do with the bank. This is in our records. The bookkeeper recorded a check as $240 when it should have been $130. So they assumed the customer deposited $110 more than they actually did. So I'm going to have to back that back out. That's actually what we call a depositor error. Because we put too much money into our bank, in our books, that didn't actually go into our bank. So we need to back that back out to show that 210, the difference between 240 and 130, was accidentally added. And then we have one more error here. First Bank of Baltimore incorrectly processed a check for $28 from Elise Dance Supply Company against Eli's Dance Company's account. Well, they didn't give us too much detail there, but that's a bank error, and it looks like they didn't give us credit for that deposit, so we're going to add an extra $28. So if I take the 89 add the 2550, add the 28 and subtract the 822, we get an adjusted bank balance of 9845. And if we do the same on the book side, book balance of 9500 plus 505 minus 50 minus 110, we should get an adjusted book balance of 9845. That's a good way to double check your work before you submit anything, because my adjusted book has to equal my adjusted bank balance.